And we begin tonight with troubling new details and conflicting information from a driveway shooting in Vancouver that sent one man to the hospital. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm David Molko.
And I'm Laurel Porter. Police arrested Jacob A. Cantrell and charged him with assault after he allegedly shot a man who he told police was breaking into his car. But today we learned court documents did not match up to the initial police report. According to those documents, a confrontation early Tuesday morning between the two men led up to the shooting. That's something police did not include in their press release. The documents also said 33-year-old Jacob A. Cantrell shot the 44-year-old man after he told police he heard the man driving by his home near Southeast 148th Avenue and 1st Street with a loud exhaust and confronted him. Cantrell said the man then pulled into his driveway, grabbed one of his shovels, and started damaging his car. It was then, Cantrell says, he shot several times without warning, hitting the victim, police say 8 times. Neighbors say they felt unsafe around Cantrell for years.
I've been anticipating something to happen over there for a long time now. He's very strange.
He is up on the roof with his lawn chair. He's in the middle of the street throughout the night making noise, got whips and hatchets.
Cantrell was arrested and charged with assault. A judge set his bail at $500,000. His arraignment is July 1st.
Well, let's get you caught up on tonight's other headlines. Portland police have identified the man shot and killed at Raymond Park as 22-year-old Javante Sherman. Investigators say Sherman was shot around 10 Monday night, but by the time they arrived, he had left the scene in a vehicle. A police sergeant found Sherman near Southeast 122nd and Division and tried to provide first aid. Sherman did not survive. So far, no arrests have been made.
We're also learning more about the man shot and killed by law enforcement over the weekend near Milwaukee. Police shot Derek Clark after they say he led them on a chase, then got out of the car armed with a gun. Clark worked with a local nonprofit focused on transforming people's lives. The nonprofit declined an on-camera interview, saying they're deeply grieving his loss. Clark's case will now be reviewed by a Clackamas County grand jury.
And it's been nearly a year since a dangerous heat wave killed dozens of people in Oregon, which has officials in Multnomah County now preparing 18 cooling centers for the next time dangerous heat returns. That is more centers in more places, though it's unclear if they'll be open this weekend. The county says that depends on factors that include daytime and overnight temperatures. And speaking of heat waves, let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Matt Zaffino now.
Well, Matt, it was so nice today, but how warm are we talking tomorrow, and what about that weekend?
Yeah, nothing like what we did a year ago. I mean, that was unprecedented when we hit 116 in the overnight lows. We're also super warm. Our nights won't be as warm and the days won't be nearly as hot either. But this is our first heat wave of the year, so certainly is going to get everybody's attention. You will feel it. We'll be in the 90s this weekend, but not record hot. I'll show you why in a second. But about 15 to 20 degrees above average. Average right now 76. It's our first 90-degree weather since the middle of August last year, so basically about 10 months, right? Okay, so the heat wave really begins in earnest on Saturday. Friday will be warm in the 80s, though. But Saturday, east winds, very warm, about 92. Sunday, that's the hottest day, 97. And then Monday, the cooling kicks in the evening. We'll drop it down to about 92 for the high again. So, again, Sunday is the real cooker of the day, but the record's 101 Saturday. And then we get into our historic heat wave from last year when it set the records. The record Sunday, 108, the record Monday, 112. We won't be doing that. I'll also show you can see the night sky this week. It's pretty cool, guys.
Looking forward to that. Thank you, Matt. And our wet spring this year has delayed the start of wildfire season. As the weather heats up, our region dries out. There is even more encouraging news beyond that delay for fire departments across Oregon. Catherine Cook explains.
It's late June. The sun is hot. And by Mount Angel Fire Chief Jim Treeweiler's watch,
our apprehensions get a little bit higher each year.
It's time to worry about wildfires.
We're feeling pretty good about June, but we're a little bit concerned what July and August are going to look like as those flashy fields start to dry out.
Mount Angel is one of several rural agencies in Marion County. When called upon, they play a collective role in helping fight major fires across the valley.
KGW, bump up pressure.
That was the case last October when 120 firefighters from 7 different agencies battled this 4-alarm granary fire right here in Mount Angel. And of course, there were the Labor Day fires of 2020. Chief Treeweiler helped coordinate that regional response.
I think we got probably around 20 or 30 pieces of equipment we were able to dedicate up into the Santiam Canyon at that point.
Now consider this. Most rural fire agencies, including Mount Angel, are staffed in part by volunteers.
We were running extremely tight on resources.
The Office of the State Fire Marshal recognized that. This summer, they're inviting Oregon's fire departments to apply for $35,000 grants to help increase staffing for fire season. They've already approved Mount Angel's application.
We're going to be able to pay some of our volunteers and any of our full-time people overtime to be able to staff the station during our most critical hours.
So far, more than 160 agencies have applied for the grants, which cap out at $6 million. That funding comes from Senate Bill 762, which passed after Oregon's nightmare 2020 fire season.
During wildfire season, agencies like Mount Angel still take care of people who live here. They get 2 to 3 calls a day for things like house fires or car accidents. When they send a task force out of town, they want to be covered at home. This grant money will help them do that.
It's just temporary funding to kind of get us through this fire season and just to kind of test the waters, so to speak, to see if this is a model that really will have an impact.
John Hendricks is public affairs specialist with the State Fire Marshal's office. He says over the last few years, there's been a decrease in volunteer firefighters with many departments.
And so, that has a ripple effect, so to speak, when you're headed out to, cover a brush fire or different things like that.
Now more than ever, Chief Treeweiler says each response to every call is rooted firmly in one goal.
Get on fires when they're small and keep them small before they get to a conflagration.
In Mount Angel, Catherine Cook, KGW News.
A quick check on gas prices tonight as we head toward our first full weekend of summer. According to AAA, Washington is at $5.53 a gallon. Oregon just a penny less at $5.52, both more than 50 cents higher than the national average. That stands at $4.95 a gallon as the president pushes for a federal gas tax holiday until the end of September and is asking states to consider the same.
Staffing issues once again impacting bus service in and around the Portland metro area. TriMet announcing today that 10 routes will be cut short in the fall temporarily while they keep working to hire and train qualified workers. Our Alma McCarty has the latest.
Delays, disruptions, lack of service. Right now, that's to be expected on many bus and train routes if you've been taking TriMet to get around town.
We understand that, 15, 30 minutes is actually quite a bit of time if people are needing to get someplace. And that's why we do apologize to all of our riders for the delays that they've seen recently.
TriMet spokesperson Tyler Graff said it's not an ideal scenario for anyone, rather a trickle-down effect of the ongoing operator shortage. Starting mid-September, TriMet is adjusting service on 10 bus lines, reducing service levels for the time being since the agency doesn't have enough drivers to fully staff the routes.
These temporary service reductions are essentially a reality check. Over the past few months, our service has simply not been what it should be. And we've had more service scheduled than we've had operators who could provide that service.
By cutting down several routes with low ridership, TriMet hopes to increase schedule reliability, meaning fewer canceled or late buses.
We're looking through the lens of minimizing disparate impacts on communities of color and low-income areas.
Meantime, hiring remains priority number one. Increased base pay and hiring bonuses are still in effect. TriMet has even taken its efforts out of state, recruiting drivers from other places.
Are people actually applying? Are people actually training? Are we starting to see kind of a increase in the number of people who are interested in being operators for TriMet?
We've seen a a big uptick in the number of applicants. Since the beginning of the year, I think we're over 1,000 now, well over 1,000.
Graf explains hiring and training takes time and resources. So for now,
people can expect the same service levels that we've been providing.
To keep up with unexpected delays, TriMet urges riders to sign up for service alerts, while the transit agency works to improve the system for all.
Aligning people's expectations with what we can actually provide for them.
In Portland, Alma McCarty, KGW News.
To see the exact routes that will be impacted, head to kgw.com. We have a web story up now with those details.